Hello, learners. Warm which is behavioral segmentation. In this type of segmentation, the prospective buyers of tourism products are segmented on the basis of their knowledge, attitude, use or response to the tourism product. And a number of behavioral variables are used for market segmentation. Number one is occasions. See, buyers, they may be divided according to occasions for which they may need a product. For example, a person usually travels on an occasion concerning business, vacation or family. Thus, we have segments such as the business tourist or the holiday tourist or the VFR, which is visiting friends and relative tourists. Sometimes the buyers are classified on the basis of critical events which marks life's passages such as marriage, divorce, acquisition of home, injury, illness. It may be change in career, retirement, etc. So imaginative tour operators, what they do is they have created tour packages. Like we have the honeymoon tours, we have the wedding tourism. So for those who are getting married or for those who are going for their honeymoon, then the natural therapy or Ayurvedic treatment tours for those who are looking for improvement of health after illness or stressful life. Spiritual tours to ashrams, etc. for those who are looking for spiritual solace. Then another basis is benefit. Benefit segmentation, it identifies major benefits that the consumer look for in the product, or it identifies based on the kind of people who look for each benefit or major brands that deliver these benefits. And product, as you know, that is made up of three core benefit segments. One is the quality buyers. Here the quality buyers is more concerned by the product image and not with the cost. A service buyer would choose a product that provides a good service. In other words, they look for the best value for their money and accordingly they want a service that matches the product. The third is the economy buyers. So in economy buyer, they would like to keep the cost down, when we call them as budget buyers also. So besides the benefits sought by the tourist, certain other associated characteristics, they also help in devising the marketing strategies. This includes user status. Now, tourists may be segmented as first-time visitors or repeat visitors, ex-visitors or potential visitors on the basis of the user status. Another one is users rate. So they may be segmented on the basis of the users rate. For example, airlines and hotels, they classify their clients as frequent travelers or less frequent travelers or one-time traveler. Then we have loyalty status. So loyalty describes the tourist preference for a particular product or service in spite of other tempting offers from competing companies or enterprises to shift to their products. So a company, what it should do is it should study the characteristic of its own hardcore loyals and devise marketing strategy to maintain their loyalty. For example, some airlines, they have frequent traveler programs in which they offer benefits like excess baggage allowance. You have a priority in check-in and then the priority in confirmation of seats or special waiting lounge for their frequent traveler clients. And we can describe loyalty in terms of degrees. First, we have the hardcore loyals, the softcore loyals, shifting loyals, and switcher. Let's see what are each one of these. Hardcore loyals, they are the ones exclusively devoted to a particular organization. The softcore loyals, those are those who may be devoted to two or more organizations. Shifting loyals are those who gradually move to favor one organization over another organization. Then we have the switcher, those who have no loyalty to any particular organization. They shift from one to another as per their requirements. So by studying the softcore loyals, a company can pinpoint which brands are most competitive for its own. Some airlines and hotels, they try to convert their soft-core loyals into hardcore loyals by offering free mileage or free accommodation when they accumulate a certain number of mileages or night stays. So a company should also study consumers or customers who are shifting away from its brand, because that will give the company valuable insights into its product and marketing weaknesses. However, the effort should always be to treat every tourist as special and make him or her feel special in order to inculcate loyalties for the product. This is quite understandable. Then we have the buyer readiness stage, which is one of the behavioral segmentation criteria. At any given time, people are in different stages of readiness to buy a product. Smart marketers, they always know when to launch their product. For example, private domestic airlines in India, they started their service when they realized that domestic air travelers were in a readiness stage to travel by private airlines if an alternative to the then Indian airline services was available. And see, among the potential buyers, some of the buyers, they may be unaware of the product, some may be aware, some may be informed, some may be disinterested, not interested in it, some may be desirous but they are not aware of it, and some may be intending to buy. So there are different stages. And this distribution of prospective customers into stages of readiness helps in designing the marketing product. Then attitude. Customer in a market can be classified by the degree of enthusiasm for the product. They may be enthusiastic, positive, indifferent, negative, or hostile to the product which is there in the market. So if a company, it can correlate attitudes with demographic description, then it can increase its efficiency in locating the best prospects. For example, all tour operators and travel agents, they'll find it much easier to sell India tours to those who have an enthusiastic or positive attitude towards India. The last or the fifth major criteria or the variable for segmentation is the price segmentation. You see, price ranges, they often come handy in segmenting the tourism market. For example, there are those who are high spenders and are prepared to pay the high prices. They are described as up-budget tourists. Those who want to take a low-price vacation is another category. Those who want to take a moderately priced vacation is yet another category. So according to tourism experts, when deciding to market a new product or to enter a market for the first time, the producers, they have to make a fundamental strategic choice as to where on the prevailing price spectrum they should aim their marketing effort. It is this choice that largely determines which segments they will be dealing with, and has an immediate implication for the nature of the products they to be provided and the form of any promotion and distribution. See, price range communicates to the consumer the quality expectation of a product along with the producer's image. For example, if a tour operator intends to target high spenders tourists, the quality of the services he or she packages, it may be in terms of the hotel room, coach that they are going to provide, the guides and escort services, etc. They must match the quality of that price range. So far you have learned about the 5 major variables of market segmentation. Among them, geographic and demographic segmentation are easy to practice. For instance, a market can be divided easily on the basis of age, gender, income, or reason. So this segmentation basis, they are also called as the descriptive basis, which means the geographic and the demographic basis, they are called as the descriptive basis, because these variables, they are used to describe the consumer. Then behavioral and psychographic basis, they are much more difficult to use, because behavioral variables, they tend to be subjective constructs. Unlike the parameters of, say, demographic, like age or gender, the behavioral parameters, they are outside descriptors. They are rather manifestation of mental constructions, and they are very complex to study. For example, if you say categorization of people in a market on the basis of personality or loyalty, now this will require development of an appropriate measure and a complicated analysis. So this involves time and more research. That is why we say it is a much more in-depth study is required when you have to do psychographic and the behavioral type of segmentation. So these are the 5 segmentation variables that we have looked into so far. But in a dynamic sector like tourism, where trends are emerging, new trends are emerging, and the likes and dislikes of or the travel habits of the tourists are changing quite often, there are other determinants or other what you call variables which also influences the segmentation of the tourist market. Let us look at some of these additional determinants. The tourism market is also segmented on the basis of the travel habits of the tourists. So this includes number 1, distance traveled. Yet the tourists are classified as long-haul travelers, mid-haul travelers, or short-haul travelers on the basis of the distance that they travel. For inbound tourists coming to India, those from Europe or the United States, they are long-haul market segments because they have to cover a long distance if they have to reach India. Whereas tourists from Nepal or Bangladesh, which are our neighboring countries, and the distance to be covered by them are less, they are called as the short-haul travelers. Then another point is the duration of the trip. So tourists can be segmented as those who take short holiday breaks, say of 2 or 3 days, or those who take long trips of say about 20 days or a month or more. So those taking shorter holidays, usually they are not long-haul travelers, which means if people are coming from America or from Europe to India, they usually do not come for 2 or 3 days. They come for say about 15 to 20 days or maybe more than a month also. Then another criteria is the time of travel. See, tourists can be segmented as those who travel during summer holidays or winter holidays. In Europe, those who take long trips, they usually travel during the summer season, since the vacation period is longer in summer than in winter. In India also, if you look at the northern states, the family with children usually they opt for long duration holidays during the school summer vacation. Then if you go to West Bengal during the Durga Puja, they have a longer holiday, so people usually travel during those times. Then the organization of trip is also another criteria for segmentation. Tourists are also segmented as individual or group tourists on the basis of organization of their trips. Some individual tourists, they ask travel agents to package their whole tour, but they will not be traveling independently without joining any group. Then there are tourists who may buy flight tickets only, and there are tourists who will buy the package for a limited period only, such as transfers on arrival, departure, hotel accommodation for first 2 nights only. So this may be luxury tours or economy tours. Travel motives is another basis. Tourists are classified on the basis of their motive to travel. So some may travel for the reason of curiosity, some for education, some for health, religion, sports, relaxation. So there are lots of motives for travel, so they can be segmented based on that. What happens is, here it must be noted that an organization can apply 1, 2 or more variables simultaneously for market segmentation. But for selecting the basis for segmentation, certain methods are useful, like intuition. This is the gut feeling which every one of us has. Then experience also counts. Market research. See, when one has the data and the information which market research generates, the more confident as well as higher the chances for a feasible marketing decision that can be made. Trial and error is another. Thus, the segment itself may not be feasible anymore. Since a limited number of consumers, they will not be able to justify customized marketing efforts, which needs a lot of budget for that. So since a lot of research and study needs to be done while zeroing on a specific market segment along with defining specific characteristics, market segmentation is a time-consuming as well as an expensive process. Then yet again, another tricky situation is when characteristic of a market segment change, then the investment made already might become useless also. And like I said, this is especially true for a dynamic sector like tourism. Now let us sum up what we have covered so far. We have looked at 5 of the major variables for segmenting tourism markets. We have talked about geographic segmentation, demographic segmentation, psychographic, behavioral and price segmentation. We have also looked at other additional determinants based on which the tourism markets can be segmented, and we have also touched upon a little bit on the advantages and the disadvantages of market segmentation. I hope your concept of market segmentation is more clear now. Thank you so much. See you in the next session.